Hello, thanks for joining us on Tov Jewish News. I'm joined today by Eldad Beck, who's in Berlin, and we're going to be discussing a little bit what's happening in Germany, across Europe, after the massacre that happened. Actually, now it's 3 weeks. Thanks for joining us, Eldad.
Thank you very much for having me.
So Germany is one of the leading countries in the European Union, and they've come out pretty much, even surprisingly, I would say, very strongly in the Israeli corner. Is that going to keep up? Are things changing a little bit in the perception of both the German government and Germany? And I guess we could also look around Europe.
I think that when you compare the German reaction to the other tragic events that we had in the Middle East, like the Gaza war of 2014, or even the events in 2017, 2019, I think that the German leadership, political leadership, was much quicker to react to the events and to declare its solidarity in a very, very clear way with Israel, and also to tackle the issue of anti-Semitism, which was expressed in the pro-Palestinian demonstrations. So we have here a very important development. They, at least publicly, they react much quicker, so they have learned something from the recent past experience. However, one has to wait and see, first of all, if this public stand would also mean concrete steps in order to, first of all, support Israel in the ongoing military effort. We are just beginning to see the start of this effort. We are going to definitely see in the coming weeks to have some very severe moments. I hope that the Germans would not cede to the opinion of those who say that Israel must react proportionally and according to the whatever humanitarian code that they invent ad hoc for the Palestinian issue, and would go on supporting us. It's also the question if Germany would be able to support Israel militarily in any way, taking into account the fact that it is exhausting its resources for the war in Ukraine, which is still
Right.
going on.
Right.
And thirdly, it would be extremely interesting to see the stand of Germany inside the EU institutions and the international institutions. I think that what we have seen with the General Secretary of the UN and his unbearable
Disgraceful.
expressions and
Disgraceful.
declarations regarding what is right now happening in Israel and the so-called Palestinian territories. Unfortunately, the person who was the diplomatic advisor of former Chancellor Angela Merkel, who was the German ambassador to the UN, a period in which he unbelievingly compared between Israel and North Korea, and right now is the president of the Munich Security Conference, a very important international event that takes place once a year. He went on TV in Germany and not only justified what Guterres, the General Secretary of the UN, said, but he even gave him absolute backing in what he said. So we have a real problem within the political German establishment. And if the German government is serious about tackling the support of Hamas, I think that this person, Christoph Heusgen, should be immediately fired from his position. And, well, the Germans say that they will deport everybody who's supporting Hamas. I don't think that they will deport him, but it would be an interesting case for the real reaction of the German political establishment.
So there's, I guess probably Israel usually does not request help from other countries, but if Israel or even if Germany was to offer support, let's say, for Israel, sending maybe even armaments or whatever, what would be the internal reaction in Germany? How would they deal with what would probably be tremendous opposition from Muslim Germans who are already in the millions?
Yeah, I think that in Germany, but also in other European countries, it's not only the Muslims that are the problem. By the way, there are Muslims who are condemning Hamas atrocities
That's
in
interesting.
Germany and elsewhere, so one should not generalize. But beside the radicals, the Arab and Muslim radicals that are demonstrating in Germany and elsewhere in Europe, you also find many left activists, mainly of the young generation. I think that the case of the Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg is a very, very alarming case of support to the Palestinians, which comes really from stupidity and ignorance and not from any solidarity whatsoever. But it shows us that among this section of the young population, being pro-Palestinian has become something very modish, very fashionable, because it's supporting the weak against the strong, supporting those who are considered to be victims against those who are considered to be the perpetrators, thus creating actually a real transformation of realities, because
So
we
what do you think could be
after
done about that? What do you think can be done about this? What are we not doing that could be done?
well, I think that first of all we have to try and reach to these those people. I'm not sure that we are doing enough. I'm not sure that they want to listen to what we have, but I don't think that we are doing enough. Unfortunately, you have quite a lot of um, Jewish and Israeli leftists who are feeding the anti-Israeli feelings among these activists, and for years have been, portraying Israel in the darkest way. I think that the protest movement that we had in
Are they changing their tune today? Like in Germany, people who were leftists, let's say among the Jewish community, are they changing their tune? In Israel, they've flipped the disc, as they
but
say.
unfortunately, you have too many that stick to their false prophecies and false ideas of coexistence, and trying to blame Israel for everything that is happening. And these, what I call useful Jews, are extremely, extremely important for the anti-Israeli movement around the world. I mean, the BDS was mainly using
Right.
all these Jews in order to
Yeah.
say, "Oh no, we are not anti-Semitic. Look, we have," and also in Germany, every time that you have accusations of anti-Semitism against pro-Palestinians, they pick up a Jew or an Israeli
Yeah.
and say, "Look, we are not anti-Semitic. The Jews
Right,
themselves are saying."
a well-known occurrence. Let me ask you internally, not on the political thing. We see a rise. I think I've seen like a tenfold rise in anti-Semitic incidents that have happened not only in Germany but all across Europe, even in the United States. The average, let's say, Israeli or Jewish person, there's no small number of people living even in Germany and throughout Western Europe. Are they starting to be in fear of I mean, we've heard stories of swastikas that were painted on Jewish houses in Berlin, I think, and all that. What's happening on the ground level, if you can tell us what people are feeling,
Yeah,
especially
the
Jewish
fear that
people?
you're talking about is already there for a long time, but nobody was taking it seriously. And I must say that in the case of Berlin, you have so many Israeli leftists that have been working for the Palestinian cause and against Israel, that even when they were attacked by Arabs, they kept silent about it because they didn't want the bubble that they have built to explode.
Wow.
So there is a growing fear. There is a growing number of Israelis thinking or going back to Israel. There is always a growing number of Jews that think about making aliyah. I think that we have to prepare ourselves for this eventuality in the coming
So,
months.
so it's good to see some good things are happening as a result of that. Unfortunately, they're happening because of bad stuff, but it's always good to have Jews returning home. I thank you very much for joining us and illuminating what's going on in Europe, and we'll hope for better times. Thank you for joining us, Eldad.
Definitely.
Thanks for joining us on Tov Jewish News, where we bring you unique perspectives and insight. You can also check out our Hebrew channel for more valuable content.